If you have ever dealt with a narcissist, whether in a relationship, a family dynamic, a workplace environment, or even in casual encounters, then you already know this truth. Few things drain your inner strength more than being entangled with a person who feeds on attention, control, and emotional reaction. Narcissists thrive on turmoil. They crave validation. They demand submission to their illusions. And yet, the ancient Stoics discovered something extraordinary. Something that acts almost like a shield against the chaos such individuals try to impose on our lives. They discovered that you do not defeat a narcissist by fighting them directly. You defeat them by mastering yourself. The Stoics did not believe in torture in the physical sense. Instead, they practiced a form of psychological mastery so strong, so grounded, that it tortured manipulative and chaotic personalities without the Stoics ever lifting a finger. They did this not through aggression, not through revenge, but through sovereignty over their own inner world. This is a different form of power, quiet, disciplined, unshakable. Today you will learn 4 Stoic ways to torture a narcissist, not through cruelty, but by becoming so inwardly strong that their tactics collapse under their own weight. Each of these 4 methods is rooted deeply in Stoic philosophy. Each method dismantles the narcissist's control mechanisms, and each method returns your time, your mental space, and your emotional clarity back to where they belong. With you. But before we begin, I ask just one thing. Do not skip any part of this. If you are here, you are different from the majority. You are seeking mastery, not victimhood. You are seeking clarity, not chaos. Consider yourself the exception and act like it. Stay through every part, because every piece builds toward a profound shift in your mindset. So let us begin. Way 1. Limit their importance. The Stoic art of making the narcissist irrelevant. The first way to psychologically torture a narcissist, without aggression, without confrontation, is simple. You reduce their importance in your mind. To a narcissist, nothing hurts more than being stripped of the importance they believe they deserve. Stoicism teaches that suffering increases the moment we give external things too much power. Epictetus taught, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgments about them." Marcus Aurelius echoed the same truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Understand how transformative that is. When a narcissist acts out, when they belittle, provoke, or manipulate, when they try to assert dominance or superiority, the emotional sting you feel does not come from their actions themselves. It comes from the meaning you attach to those actions. This is why the Stoics believe that reclaiming your perception is the first step to reclaiming your peace. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack. Every insult, guilt trip, manipulation tactic, or passive-aggressive comment from the narcissist is a rock they secretly place inside that backpack. The more attention and emotional energy you give them, the heavier the load becomes. Eventually, you're dragging that weight through your daily life, exhausted, not because of the rocks, but because you never stopped to remove them. Stoicism teaches you to stop adding rocks. You cannot stop the narcissist from behaving like a narcissist, but you can stop allowing their behavior to dominate your emotional world. You do this by refusing to tie your self-worth, your peace, or your internal balance to their actions. This single shift alone is a type of torture for the narcissist because their power depends entirely on the reactions they pull out of you. Narcissists need 3 things: attention, emotional reaction, psychological investment. When you deny them these 3 ingredients, they begin to suffocate. But this requires boundaries, sometimes emotional, sometimes physical, sometimes both. It requires limiting your exposure to their manipulation. It requires learning to redirect your focus to the people, activities, and values that truly matter. Stoicism does not call for suppressing your feelings. Instead, it teaches you to observe them, understand them, and make rational decisions about where your energy should go. It is important to acknowledge something here. Reducing a narcissist's importance often triggers grief, especially if the narcissist is a parent, a partner, or someone you deeply wanted to trust. You are not just detaching from a toxic person, you are mourning the relationship you deserved but never received. This grief is natural. It is human. Stoicism does not deny pain. It teaches you to walk through it with clarity and resilience. Seek therapy if you can. Journal. Talk to supportive friends. Create art. These practices help you heal while you build your inner citadel, a Stoic concept describing the fortress of peace you construct within yourself. When you prioritize your mental well-being over the narcissist's illusions, you take back the one thing they cannot survive without: psychological domination. And quietly removing someone from the throne they built for themselves is one of the deepest forms of torture a narcissist can experience. Way 2. Challenge their false self, gently, subtly, and without confrontation. The second Stoic way to torture a narcissist is even more powerful. You expose the instability of their false identity, but subtly, calmly, without aggression. Narcissists build a carefully crafted self-image. They project superiority, intelligence, charm, or talent, not because these things are real, but because they act as armor shielding them from their deep insecurities. Stoics believed in seeking truth, not emotional truth, not reactive truth, but objective truth. So how do you challenge a narcissist's illusion using Stoic principles? Not with confrontation, not with arguments, not with attacks. You challenge them with curiosity. Questions like, how did you come to that conclusion? What makes you believe that? Can you explain that more clearly? What evidence do you base that on? Why do you think that is? These questions destabilize their false narrative without making you seem aggressive. You are not attacking. They cannot accuse you of anything. You are not validating them. You are not feeding their ego. You are simply bringing reality into the conversation. This is devastating for a narcissist. Their false identity depends on unquestioned acceptance. They expect people to admire, obey, or agree out of fear, confusion, or emotional exhaustion. A calm, curious question introduces a type of accountability they cannot stand. But the power of this method is not only in the questions, it is in your mindset. Stoicism teaches the practice of prosophy, attentive awareness. This means being fully conscious of your thoughts, words, and emotional triggers during your interactions. When you remain grounded, emotionally neutral, and observant, the narcissist cannot manipulate the conversation. You are no longer playing their game, and nothing tortures a narcissist more than someone who refuses to play. This method also helps you see the narcissist objectively. When you stop reacting emotionally, and start engaging analytically, their illusions fall apart. You start recognizing exaggerations, inconsistencies, and emotional traps. You begin to see the difference between their projection and the truth. And when you see someone clearly, they lose their power over you. This subtle questioning also causes the narcissist to experience something they avoid at all costs: self-reflection. Whether they admit it or not, your questions force them to confront the cracks in their persona. You are not doing this to destroy them. You are doing it to liberate yourself. And ironically, this quiet liberation becomes their psychological downfall. Way 3. Heal yourself. Nothing hurts a narcissist more than your growth. The third Stoic method is the most important. You commit to your healing. To a narcissist, your healing is torture. Why? Because narcissists depend on your wounds. Your insecurities feed their superiority. Your emotional dependence feeds their control. Your confusion feeds their narrative. Your self-doubt keeps you orbiting their world. Stoicism teaches that the true battlefield is within the self. Seneca said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have and to use what they do have wisely." This is a profound insight when dealing with narcissistic harm. Healing is not simply recovering from the relationship. Healing is reclaiming your freedom. Healing is learning what you deserve. Healing is seeing your worth clearly. Healing is building a life independent of their validation. To a narcissist, nothing is more agonizing than realizing they can no longer control your emotional weather. Therapy, journaling, reflection, meditation, reading philosophy, these are not just exercises in recovery, they are acts of rebellion. You are breaking the psychological chains the narcissist tried to place on you. You are rewriting your identity based on truth, not manipulation. As you heal, several things happen. Your boundaries become stronger, your self-esteem rises, your emotional clarity sharpens, your dependence dissolves, your triggers fade, your reactions diminish, your tolerance for manipulation disappears, and the narcissist begins to sense it. They feel your energy shift, they feel the emotional access slipping away, they feel the control evaporate. Your growth is their downfall. Stoicism teaches that you must cultivate your inner world, your values, virtues, and character, because external things are beyond your control. When you embrace healing as a Stoic practice, you turn your suffering into strength. You transform your story into wisdom. You stop trying to change the narcissist and begin reshaping yourself. Healing is not passive. Healing is not weakness. Healing is a disciplined, courageous journey. And the narcissist cannot follow you there. The more you grow, the smaller they become. The healthier you become, the more powerless they feel. The more self-aware you become, the more exposed they appear. Your healing is their psychological torture, not because you intend to hurt them, but because your inner strength highlights their inner emptiness. Way 4. Control your reactions, the narcissist's greatest defeat. The final Stoic way to torture a narcissist is the most powerful and the most feared. You control your reactions. This is the ultimate Stoic weapon. Narcissists live off reaction. Anger, confusion, defensiveness, tears, frustration. These emotions feed their sense of influence. A narcissist without emotional control over others is like a fire without oxygen. They suffocate. But when you stop reacting, something extraordinary happens. Their tactics fail. Their manipulation collapses. Their ego starves. Their illusion of superiority crumbles. Their influence ends. Stoicism teaches the virtue of apatheia, not the absence of emotion, but the absence of emotional disturbance. It means being calm in the storm, anchored in the chaos, steady when provoked. When a narcissist tries to provoke you, you remain composed, you speak slowly, you think clearly, you respond rationally, or not at all. This is devastating to them. When they attempt guilt-tripping, you remain unmoved. When they try to trigger insecurity, you remain self-assured. When they attack your character, you recognize projection and stay grounded. When they expect a dramatic reaction, you choose silence instead. Your silence is not passive. Your calmness is not weakness. Your neutrality is not indifference. It is sovereignty. This is the moment when you become what the Stoics trained to be: the master of your mind, the guardian of your peace, the dictator of your emotional reality. The narcissist cannot penetrate the fortress of your mind unless you open the gates. And Stoicism teaches you to keep those gates closed. This level of emotional control is not achieved overnight. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and constant reflection. But once you gain it, it becomes a permanent shield. Narcissists lose interest in people they cannot control. They lose influence over people they cannot provoke. They lose power over people who remain calm. Your tranquility becomes their torment. Conclusion: your peace is your power. You now understand the 4 Stoic ways to torture a narcissist, not through cruelty, but through mastery. 1. Limit their importance. Starve their ego of attention. 2. Challenge their illusion. Calmly expose the fragility of their false self. 3. Heal and grow. Transform your pain into personal evolution. 4. Control your reactions. Deny them the emotional drama they require to survive. Remember, Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion. It is about choosing the right emotions. It is about becoming intentional, steady, wise, and disciplined. Your peace of mind is your sanctuary. Your inner citadel is your protection. Your awareness is your freedom. No narcissist, no manipulator, no external force can conquer you unless you surrender the one thing Stoicism demands you protect: your mind. Choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose your growth. Choose the path of Stoic strength. You are not powerless. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are in the process of becoming untouchable. Hold the line. Guard your mind. Live with calm discipline, and let the narcissist suffer from the one thing they cannot control: your inner freedom.